Hi, Internet. Okay, I'm back. I was in the inevitable dip that comes at some point. 3 days is how long that dip lasted, and it was pretty rotten, honestly. I am back to feeling like I did before the dip, which is better than I have in many, many years. And Friday was the end of my initial 6 weeks on the TMS. And at this point, I am now going 2 times a week. It's sort of to wean off. So that's what we're doing. This was the sort of first day of the 7th week of treatment, which is only twice a week instead of every day. I did find a therapist, and I really needed somebody to help me figure out what to do with all this newfound functionality, how to use it, how to apply myself, and not just sit there upright, sort of feeling functional, but having absolutely no idea what that means and how to use it. And I needed to talk to somebody about that. So I've had 1 million years of therapy in my life, probably over 20 years, but I have been off of therapy for a while because I was sort of, I think a lot of people that have spent the majority of their life under some kind of psychiatric care will relate to this. There was simply no conversation that I had not had in therapy. I've had good therapists, I've had bad therapists. Sometimes it's been great, sometimes it's sucked, but it was very predictable. And I stopped going to therapy years ago just because it wasn't helping me. And at this point in my life, when I had this new thing to work on, this new sort of like, hey, feeling like I might be able to do Delilah 2.0, let's give it a shot, like I want somebody. So, unfortunately, I booked the appointment for the therapist when I was feeling great, and then day one of therapy came during my dip, and so I was in there feeling like, why am I here? This is, it was a rough introduction to a new therapist, because I had really lost completely the ability to access like future Delilah and all that other stuff that I was talking about. Like, I was just back to being completely immobile emotionally, and so I used the first therapy session basically as just an opportunity to give background, because I knew I couldn't, I wasn't going to accomplish anything else. We can talk about being a neglected, gifted child. That's what I did for the first 10 years of therapy. So, let me rehash that a bit, and then she'll have that to sort of, base her understanding of me going forward. Anyway, I don't know yet if this is a great therapist for me. I don't know if she's going to keep up with me, if she's going to be clever, and I really need to be challenged. Otherwise, I will just, I will just therapy myself. You really have to stay on top of the conversation when you're trying to help me, because I'm a very dominant personality type. But that is where we stand with that. And I have a lot more to talk about, but I wanted to at least update and say I did get out of my slump. My slump was 3 days, and then I came right back, which I guess is pretty standard, or very common at least, for people undergoing TMS. And one day at a time again. I will keep everybody up to date. So thank you all for coming with me on this journey.